injuries obviously gave you an opportunity to get into the side. How did you find your first hit out against Melbourne Victory?
No, it was good. It kind of felt like a debut again for me, back against Victory where I made my debut last year. So, no, it was good. I think for us to take a point away from home, obviously after conceding so late, the character that we showed, late in the game, I think we finished with 9 players on the field. The character that we showed was unbelievable, and just really proud of the effort that we all put in.
How are you finding this battle for the glove with James Bellinov this season?
No, it's been good competition. Ever since we both joined the club last year, we've had our share of injuries, so there hasn't been as much competition as I guess we would have liked. It's been really unfortunate for the both of us that we've been in and out with injuries. But even so, like we spoke about earlier in pre-season, there's competition there, and we want the best for whoever's playing in goal. We're great mates, we get along very well, and I wish him all the best in his recovery, because him back out pushing whoever's playing, it's really important for the group.
I imagine there are a lot of number 2 goalkeepers around the league that if they're looking at an extended run probably get a little bit nervous. You're perhaps a little bit less nervous because of the run that you got last year and the time you've had in the first team previously?
Yeah, definitely. I think coming into the games that I played last year, I was definitely a little nervous at the start. But when you have a good run of games, it gives you confidence. So going into this season, obviously I was keen to play games, and that opportunity's here now. So it's about doing what's best for the team, and getting more 3 points.
A lot of opportunities come from injury, and this looks like it could be an extended injury for James. Obviously, fingers crossed it's not, but it looks like it could be. Are you anticipating a lot of game time here for yourself to sort of try and cement a number 1 spot?
Yeah, look, I'm not really too focused on the length at the minute. For me, it's just from week to week. Obviously, just came out of isolation last week and was straight into a game. So, and again, we've got to back it up 7 days later, and then we have quite a heavy run. So for me, it's just from week to week, focus on my performance and improving. And when James comes back into the picture, that's a question for the coaches.
How'd you go with COVID? How was your experience with it?
No, it wasn't too bad. A couple of days I was a little bit flat and lost my taste there for a little bit. But the latter stages I was feeling really good. Was able to get a little bit of exercise. It was a bit of a risk to increase the heart rate, so had to be careful. But came out and I haven't felt too bad. It felt a little bit lethargic, I suppose, maybe a little bit more tired than usual, but it's just about dealing with that coming out, and like I said, straight into a game was ideal, I suppose.
I know that fitness perhaps for a goalkeeper in terms of aerobic fitness is maybe not as important as a central midfielder, but as one of the early sort of test cases in the A-League to come back from it. What do you think that blokes coming back, you've got a couple of outfield players that are coming back, do you think it will take some time? Did you notice a difference in your fitness to get back up to speed?
No, I think initially my first session maybe a little bit, but every day I was feeling better and better, and that's continued into this week. So no, I think it might be different for the boys that are running 10, 11 Ks a game, but I guess that's just up to them. We all get medically cleared. We do an ECG to check our heart. So once we have the clearance, I guess it's up to our physios and S&Cs to build the boys back in.
I know you're probably getting used to it now, a couple of seasons into COVID, but how has it been having players in and out of training, in and out of games each week, and losing your coach as well?
Yeah, I guess it makes it a little bit difficult to have some sort of consistency amongst the squad, but I think it's given great opportunities for players. You saw Nestori on the weekend, 15 years old, and he's playing in the A-League. I think it gives fantastic opportunity. So, we have a deep squad, and like I said, opportunity for players, and they've got to come in and do a job. The coaches, they have great belief in our young players, and we've seen that over the last couple of years. So there hasn't been too much of a change. I suppose it's not ideal, but we just have to, adapt and move on, like the whole league is doing.
How's the morale now that Halloran and Stephen Mock will soon be leaving as well?
The morale's good. We have a great bunch of lads. I think everyone understands that this is all part of football, and that there are great opportunities, overseas for players. So we all understand that, and that they're doing what's best for their career, and a lot of players would do that. So no, morale's good. We have like I said, great bunch of boys, and everyone's really excited for this weekend's game.
Excited that some new faces will be coming in as well once the transfer window opens up on Friday.
Yeah, well, apparently I've been in isolation for all of it. I've just been listening to the interviews, so no, I'm excited as you guys are to find out who it is.
We talked about the competition between sort of 1 and 2. There's a bit of a 3 now as well. What did you make of Stephen Hall's time and goal?
No, you know, we've got great young keepers. We've got Ethan Cox and Stevie Hall as well. You know, Stevie came in and he did a really good job. I was super proud to, you know, the start of pre-season I think I was out injured. I think he might have been number 4 or number 5, and he's come in. He's worked really hard in the pre-season and through the start of this season. He's developed a lot. Like from when we saw him coming in at the start. You know, now he's got his opportunity. You know, youngest keeper to ever play in the A-League. It's fantastic. You know, I would have dreamt of getting, you know, game time at that age. So, you know, really proud of what he did. You know, kept a clean sheet when he came on, and you know, I thought he looked very comfortable. Which, you know, I know he was a little bit nervous, but he didn't show it at all. So, no, I was really happy for him to do well.
What is it about Adelaide United and keepers? You seem to have an incredible stock of keepers under the age of 25 that can just keep filling spots, and it's been that way pretty much since you stopped playing. Why is that?
I'm not sure. I mean, you know, all the keepers that we have at the club now, I mean, apart from James's, I mean, he came through the state system, I believe, in Victoria as well. So we've all come through a development pathway, and you know, that helped me out a lot when I was younger, and I know it's helped, you know, Ethan and Stephen out as well. So, you know, I have to credit that to some extent as well. But I guess as well, you know, Eugene is key in the keepers that come in. So, you know, credit has to be given to him and as well as Vito. And, you know, for James and I, it was Bruce last year that brought us to the club.
Coming in to play Melbourne Victory, obviously a massive game, and then the champions, Melbourne City, this weekend. You've timed it pretty well, some pretty big games, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's just fortunate, I suppose, but you know, that's why you play football. You want to play against the biggest names and the best teams. It's good competition. You know, everyone's been talking about their, you know, Socceroos front three that they have, and they're all fantastic players. And it's really exciting as a goalkeeper. You want to, you know, like I said, test yourself against the best players, and you know, it's a real challenge. But you know, we're all up for it.
What can you do as a keeper to plan for a front three like that? Like, I know if you sort of simplify it to penalties, you can watch a heap of their penalties and sort of work that out. But the way that they play, what can you do to plan for those three as the keeper standing there watching them coming at you?
Yeah, I mean, you can't really preempt too much what they're going to do. You have to react. That's, you know, as the rest of the players have to be proactive as a keeper, you sort of have to be reactive in a way to what's happening. So there's not too much extra planning that would go in. Obviously, we do video sessions and we analyse the teams that we're coming up against, so not too much changes.